Good evening, I'm 14 First Alert meteorologist Arden Gregory. This is a live look at the Evansville riverfront. A pretty quiet night out there right now. Moving forward, it's going to be warm and muggy tonight, and there's a very isolated chance of rain, mainly late tonight into early Monday morning. Then we do have scattered rain in the forecast, both Monday and Tuesday. We're looking at multiple rounds of rain over the next couple of days. Then as the rain tapers off, it gets hot. We could be looking at our first 90s of the year and our first triple-digit heat index values by the middle of this week. Satellite and radar showing a few very spotty showers out there this evening, but we're mostly dry and mostly cloudy across the tri-state right now, and I think that'll be the trend through the rest of tonight. Mostly cloudy but mostly dry until we get into Monday morning. Monday morning is when our rain chances really start to ramp up. Scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms, then we may see a brief lull in the action before a second wave of showers and storms moves through late Monday afternoon into Monday evening. You'll notice the red and orange shades showing up there, indicating the possibility of some heavy rain and thunderstorms. Scattered rain lingers in the forecast through Monday night. We've got another good chance of rain early Tuesday morning. Then again, that tapers off, and the models are a little iffy on this. Some of them are trying to show a second round of rain Tuesday afternoon. Not sure how widespread that would be though. And then all of this starts to taper off as we go through Tuesday evening, and then by Wednesday, I should say, I think it'll be mostly sunny. As for our thunderstorm chances, the tri-state is outlooked for just general run-of-the-mill thunderstorms later tonight. Any chance for severe weather is off to our west. As this whole system gently slides to the northeast, though, there is this level 1 risk for some isolated strong to severe thunderstorms centered more over the Paducah and Boot Heel of Missouri, Cape Girardeau kind of area there, but it does include the far southwest corner of the tri-state as well. So we can't rule out an isolated stronger storm tomorrow. The only threat with that would really be damaging wind gusts and heavy rain. But overall, our severe weather threat is very low. And then on Tuesday, again, we're outlooked for just kind of general run-of-the-mill thunderstorms. So some lightning, some gusty winds, and some heavy rain, all certainly possible. But overall, our severe weather threat is very low. Speaking of heavy rain, this is one possible outcome for our rainfall totals over the next couple of days. You'll notice up into the bright purples and even some reds there. I do think that it'll really depend on where those thunderstorms set up. Not everyone is going to see that kind of rainfall, but I think we'll all probably get at least an inch of rain over the next couple of days, and 2 to 3 inches of rain is certainly possible, especially if you get heavy rounds of rain multiple times. Right, so we've got that chance of rain Monday morning, then again Monday afternoon and evening, then again late Monday night into Tuesday morning, maybe one more around Tuesday afternoon. So if at any of those points or several of those points you get caught in a thunderstorm with heavy rain and a good downpour, we could see large rainfall totals in rather short amounts of time. So just be aware of that. If we were going to see anything from these storms, I think it would be some just very temporary flooding. It may rain so hard that the rain is coming down faster than it can drain off into the storm drains and whatnot. So just be aware of that, especially if you go through an area that floods. Anytime we get heavy rain, every city's got its problem spots, right? So just be aware of that as these showers and storms are moving through over the next few days. I'm not really anticipating severe weather where we would see like damage and things like that, but may get kind of loud out there, might get breezy, could have some lightning and thunder, and some very heavy rain is possible within some pockets of these thunderstorms as well. Checking in on the comments here. Good evening, Laura, Suzanne, Jeanette, Cheyenne, Bryn, James, AJ, yeah, thank you guys all so much for tuning in. Yeah, James, kind of just run-of-the-mill thunderstorms. Nothing real exciting here, but could get some heavy rain and possibly some flooding within those thunderstorms here over the next couple of days. And really, this would be most impactful if you have outdoor plans. We are getting into the summer months now. A lot of people, go to the pool or the park or Holiday World or whatever it might be. People sometimes have outdoor activities even in the middle of the week. So even though this rain's falling on a Monday and Tuesday, people may still have plans that could be impacted by that, so just be very aware. As for our temperatures, we made it into the upper 80s earlier this afternoon. Now we've started to fall back into the upper 70s to low 80s. It's 82 right now in Evansville, Newburgh, and Owensboro. By the end of the night, we'll eventually fall back into the low 70s. It's going to be mostly cloudy, warm, and muggy tonight. And again, there is that very isolated chance you could get caught under a stray shower overnight, but those rain chances really start to pick up at the very tail end of the night, very, very late tonight into early Monday morning as that first round of showers and storms moves through. We are expecting a couple of different rounds of rain through the course of the day on Monday, and within that rain we could see some isolated thunderstorms as well. With the clouds and the rain, tomorrow is expected to be a few degrees cooler. Still plenty warm though, with highs in the low to mid 80s, and it'll be plenty muggy as well. Our temperatures really ramp up as we get into the middle of the week. So highs will be in the low to mid 80s tomorrow. That's actually right where our temperatures should be this time of year. But then as this whole system pushes off to the northeast on Tuesday, hotter, more humid air flows in from the south behind it. And so as these southwesterly winds really start to kick into high gear, you can just see that hot air flowing into the tri-state here. We climb into the mid to upper 80s on Tuesday, so that would be very similar to what we had today. Then I think we'll see our first widespread 90s of the year. There have been one or two spots that have made it into the low 90s here in the past few weeks. Some of you even hit 90 today. The official almanac thermometer there at the Evansville Regional Airport has not hit 90 yet this year. I do think that'll change Wednesday, and we may hit 90 again on Thursday before a cold front comes in on Friday. You can see that chance of rain Thursday night into Friday there, and that does cool us off a bit with highs back into the mid to upper 80s by the weekend. But still, that's not a major cool down. It's not going to be refreshing. It's just going to be less hot and humid. Speaking of the humidity, earlier this week we had nice dry air in place, and then basically through the whole second half of the week our humidity has been just slowly rising, and it was kind of sticky and humid feeling out there today. We're going to be way up here in the dark green shades this entire week. So basically hovering right there between muggy and just straight up miserable kind of humidity, which we all knew was coming, right? Warm, dry air in the tri-state in June, that was never going to last very long. So the humidity is finally going to catch up to us this week. We've got the rain Monday and Tuesday, but then notice even beyond that, the humidity still hanging around. So when we're looking at those temperatures in the 90s Wednesday and Thursday, you need to keep in mind that's not a dry 90, that's a humid 90. So we do have to factor in how hot that will actually feel to your body, because when it's humid, your body's natural ability to cool itself through evaporating sweat starts to break down because there's too much moisture in the atmosphere. There's nowhere for that sweat to evaporate to. Water, air is already at capacity as far as water is concerned, so it just doesn't evaporate. And so the problem we're going to run into here is it's not just going to be hot, it's going to feel even hotter than it already is. Tuesday already, those highs in the upper 80s, I think our heat index will probably be in the upper 90s. It's going to be pretty sweltering on Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday, though, that's when the heat really hits its stride. We're talking about highs in the low 90s, and I think heat index values will probably peak between 100 and 102. So we'll probably be looking at some feels like temperatures in the triple digits Wednesday and again on Thursday. Both days we could maybe catch an isolated shower or storm, but we look mainly dry. I think if we're going to see any rain on Thursday, it would most likely be Thursday night, and then that rain chance carries over into Friday as that cold front pushes through the tri-state and again brings us at least a little bit of meager relief from the heat, with highs in the mid to upper 80s then as we head toward the weekend. Looking at what June has brought us so far, lots of 80s. We were in the low to mid 80s for the first 5 days of the month, and then this weekend we hit the upper 80s twice. We made it all the way to 89 today in Evansville. We were expecting more clouds than what we saw today, so we weren't really expecting to get that warm, but the sun broke out this afternoon and it got hot out there, but we did come up just short of hitting 90. Again, I do think we'll hit 90 a little bit later this week. As for rainfall, We had showers Monday morning, and it has not rained since. We've had a few very spotty showers out there tonight, but nothing that's gone over the Evansville Regional Airport yet. So we are about an inch short on rainfall for the month and more than 7 inches of rainfall short on the year. It has been a rather warm, dry spring. You know, we were talking about drought for a long time there. Then we got that beneficial rainfall there right at the end of May. We got that unsettled weather pattern where we had rain on and off for like 2 weeks, and that really kind of dug us out of that drought for the most part. Moving forward, I showed you this temperature trend, right? So we've got this warm up through the middle of the week, then a weak cold front moves through, brings us just a little bit of rain, probably some thunderstorms in with that rain as well, and then a slight cool down into the mid to upper 80s by the weekend. Looking at the extended outlook, though, it seems that cooling trend may continue. The extended outlook for the following week, right? So not this upcoming week, but the next week after that, June 15th through the 21st, does show a trend toward near to maybe even slightly below average temperatures. So some slightly cooler air may move in, along with slightly above average precipitation. So it does seem like we may have another weather system moving in sometime early next week. You can already see that 30% chance of rain on Sunday. We may have another weather system moving in early next week that would bring us more rain and another cool down, pulling those temperatures maybe even slightly below average, which would be mid 80s would be average. So pretty busy week here in weather. Nothing real exciting as far as first alert weather days or anything like that. Like I said, I wouldn't rule out an isolated stronger storm Monday or Tuesday. It does seem like we could maybe get some gusty winds, some lightning, and some very heavy rain within some of these. So certainly not something you want to be outside in, but not necessarily anything where we would end up with damage and lasting impacts and things like that. It would all just be kind of in the moment, don't get caught out in it kind of situation. Then once we get past the rain, then it's the heat. So your options for this week are it's going to be rainy, then it's going to be just like miserably hot. Then we finally kind of level things back out a little bit and see more just kind of typical summertime weather as we get into next weekend. All right, let's check in on the comments again here. Good evening, Karen, Alicia, Darlene, Ricky. Yes, Darlene, love the summer, but hate the humidity. I'm with you on that. I'm not a fan of the heat index. Not excited about even just having to talk about it. And Bryn asking about the storms on Monday. Again, I wouldn't rule out an isolated stronger storm, but really our severe weather threat seems very low. I'm very doubtful that we would see any kind of hail or tornadoes or anything like that. If we saw any severe weather whatsoever on Monday, I think it would be gusty winds and very heavy downpours that could potentially then cause some flooding. So just be on the lookout for that on Monday. Good evening, Scotty. William, yeah, a very different weather that you're driving into compared to what you've got right now in Michigan. Yes, Carolyn, set your plants out off of the porch, let them soak in that rain Monday, Tuesday. Corey is asking about a severe risk with the cold front on Thursday. It would probably be late Thursday, more into Friday. It is something I'm monitoring. I'm not totally sure how much that's really going to come together, but I think if we get thunderstorms, it's possible that they could be strong or maybe even severe, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be a real strong cold front. I mean, this is not a huge drop in our temperatures here, right? This isn't packing much of a punch. So it is something I'll be monitoring. I think it's possible we could maybe have the ingredients in place where even a weak cold front would be enough to maybe kick us into an isolated severe threat at the end of this upcoming week. So watch for that late Thursday into Friday. That's something we are keeping an eye on, but as of right now, I'm just not totally convinced it's going to come together yet. So we've held off on any kind of first alert weather day for now, but it is something we're monitoring, the potential for severe weather with that cold front at the end of the week. Will it rain all day on Sunday, Carolyn? No. I think if we see any rain on Sunday, better chances later in the day, but even that looks kind of scattered. Yes, I agree with you on the humidity there, James. Yeah, Missy asking about the storms for today. They just never really came together, did they? Everything kept pushing later and later and later and later, and now it's gotten to the point where it's basically pushed all the way into Monday morning. Initially, we thought we would get some rain at the end of the day today, like this evening, and then it turned more into, well, maybe overnight. And now it's turned more into, it's probably not going to rain here till Monday morning. Some of you may get an isolated shower overnight tonight, but really the rain chances just kept getting pushed back and pushed back is what happened there, Missy. And somebody else asking about rain all day on Friday. No. It's just a 30% chance. So that right there tells you we're not real confident on this rain to begin with. I certainly don't think it would rain all day long on Friday. It seems like that cold front will move through sometime in the day on Friday, but I mean, we're so many days out. I couldn't give you an exact time. That could shift pretty significantly over the next few days. So it could be Friday morning, could be Friday afternoon or evening, but I would not expect it to be an all-day rain. I think it'll be one of those where the cold front moves through, and as it pushes through, we get rain, and then it's over. So we'll just have to wait and see exactly what the timing looks like there. But no, we're not expecting like an all-day kind of rain on Friday. If we were going to see rain for a majority of the day on any of the next 7 days, it would probably be Monday. That's where I mentioned, showed you before, we've got multiple rounds of rain possible, so it looks like we may get rain Monday morning, then kind of a break, then another round of rain late Monday afternoon into Monday evening. Tuesday, we've got another chance of rain in the morning. Iffy on whether or not we'll see a second round Tuesday. Some of the models are putting out a second round of rain Tuesday afternoon as well. So we'll see rain once or twice through the course of the day, Monday and Tuesday both, with some rain Monday night as well. So these are kind of the rainiest days out of the next 7. Then it gets very hot, and then I think our rain chances will be more isolated as we get toward the end of the week there, not an all-day kind of rain. And James is asking about Michael. For those of you who don't know, Michael Fecka is no longer with 14 News. We're all very happy for him. This, he left on wonderful terms. He's still got plenty of friends here. He just took a big opportunity to go work in Portland, Oregon. So that's a big city. That's a big jump for him, and it's a big move. He and his parents just spent this entire past week slowly driving a U-Haul truck full of all of his belongings across the country, and they have made it to the West Coast. So some good news there. Yes, we have heard from Michael. The group chat, the weather team group chat is still active, and we've been checking in on him on his travels across the country here, but he sent us a picture from the beach today, so he's made it all the way to the West Coast, and Michael is doing just fine, working on getting moved in Portland now. So we certainly miss him here, and we are working on trying to find the best fit for the right replacement for him. But for the time being, Jeff, Byron, and myself will be just kind of rotating through on the weekends, filling in until we find somebody to take Michael's spot. But he is doing well, and I'm sure he'll appreciate that he's being asked about James. All right, if there are no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'll have another look at your forecast on 14 News tonight at 10, and then Byron Douglas will be tracking the rain and thunderstorms as it's moving through tomorrow on 14 News Sunrise. So I hope you'll join me tonight at 10 and Byron tomorrow morning for 14 News Sunrise starting at 4:30. Everybody have a good rest of your night.